What's up, people? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and good night. Tables Chronicles is back again. It's been a while, though.
Been a hot minute
It's
still.
been a hot minute, people. We've
No
been
lies
in and
told.
out of the country. We've been sorting out other things on the other side of life that we never discussed, really. But anyways, good to be back. It's good to see you again.
Back again.
We
Back
said we're
again.
gonna do this from a more smaller, contactable area before we get back in the studio. But we're still in the studio at the same
Man
time.
said contactable, you know.
You know how it goes, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, this is your boy KIDD
NAPPA
underscore the journey, and next to me is
Reality Komplex.
Yeah.
Real complex.
Yes.
AKA let's get that life in check.
Yeah,
Let's
baby,
go.
yeah, baby, do.
Yes, sir.
Let's do
What's
it.
going on?
It. What's rolling like a roller coaster?
Star.
And what's popping like popcorn? It is what it is. Another week, another day, another year, another summer. Bloody hell, time is going fast, you know.
It's moving.
Age, you just starts rolling like a roller coaster. But yeah,
baby.
man, listen, in terms of what's going on in the world at the moment, I gotta bring one name first. Ibrahim Traore.
Man like Traore.
Bro, you know what, to be honest with you, it's good to see a leader who's leading somewhere. And you know what? I've been watching him for a little bit. I've been seeing everywhere he goes, his pistol is by his side. However, he was in Russia a couple
Full
of days
clip,
ago.
yeah?
Bro, he's always got a full clip loaded on his right side. No problem. Even his security is always fully loaded.
Yeah.
They're also saying that some of his security was offered a couple of million US dollars to take him out, but none of them has ever taken it. You know, Burkina Faso had a guy called Blaise Compaoré. Now, Blaise Compaoré was a former president. He's in Ivory Coast right now, and I fail to understand why that man is still running around lively and relaxed in Ivory Coast when he was part responsible of the reason why Thomas Sankara was killed. Now, Thomas Sankara was he was the president until, he's the reason why the country is called Burkina Faso, because it used to be called Upper Volta. And you know, with those African countries, it's the French always control everything they own.
Yeah.
So Sankara came in there and they took him out because he was empowering the fact that I don't want to use this word, but Africans, but the original name of Africa was Alkebulan.
Yeah.
Africa is
it's not even the
Greek,
real name.
Greek and Roman terminology of the continent. So sometimes I'm thinking, what the hell? You mean to tell me you've got to that point that you've actually fooled us into what the name of the continent should be in the first place?
Yeah.
And then you've also got the Berlin conference where they divided Africa to benefit the pockets of the European world. So when you go,
so they split up between them. So you take that part, I take that part.
You take this one, I take this one. You take this one, you take that one. And if you look at the names, the thing I've not really done is what I want to do is I'm going to do a search to understand how some of these countries got the names that they have. I've figured out in some of the cities, I see where the names are coming from. Like when you talk about South Africa, which is Johannesburg, right?
Yeah.
Johannesburg is two Dutch names of two fellas, dictators and colonizers, or whatever you want to call them. They
because Berg, that names. Sounds like part German, even, right?
It's Dutch. It's all Dutch, yeah. Because even
South Africa, I get that from Berg, right?
Huh?
Carlsberg, the beer.
Carlsberg, yeah. There we go. No, but the thing is, if you look at South Africa, they call it Afrikaans, and I'm like, so you've given us the name Africa has been given to Africa itself,
but then they're taking
now you're taking this one, calling it Afrikaans, which is Dutch.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, the world is moving.
Afrikaans is Dutch.
It's Dutch. It's like a twang in it. Old and Dutch, I'd say it is in comparison to what it is today. But then again, what's old in Dutch and what's old in English? Even today, we are speaking a European language.
Yeah.
So it's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's weird because when I speak to people from US, like they class us in the UK as Europeans.
Yeah.
And me being in the UK, I don't, because I travel into Europe, I don't class myself as a European.
You're a black man, irrespective of, and your history is now a different story again. And you can never be European, irrespective of how many times you hear people saying, "Oh, I'm this, that, the other." Because you have a lot of people who are saying, "Oh yeah, I'm English." And I'm like, okay, cool. But, you know, if you look at you, you have a history behind you. And it's an argument where people take on board. But, you know, it's a story of tomorrow, man. The main thing is Ibrahim Traore. He's taking Burkina Faso to another level. Thomas Sankara is the reason why it's called Burkina Faso, the land of upright. I think it was men, but nowadays they say people.
So just break it down for the people. What's the difference in Traore in comparison to the other leaders?
Blaise Compaoré. Blaise Compaoré was there since 1984, if I'm not wrong. I think it was in 1984. Though he helped to kill Thomas Sankara. He's been in power till Ibrahim Traore took over. So what he did, he escaped into Ivory Coast with the help of the French soldiers who took him over, and they passed him over into Ivory Coast where he's relaxing. However, in Burkina Faso, they started prosecuting his case, and they said that no, this guy should be in prison for murder of Thomas Sankara. See? Now you've got
he's
Ibrahim.
Going to get done for murder.
No, he's been done already. They've convicted him already, but he's living in Ivory Coast, and they're not really going to bother with him, are they?
So where is he wanted for murder?
Burkina Faso, his country of origin.
But because he's in
now he's in Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast is not. Yeah, they can't. Ivory Coast has helped to just look after him, and I think it's because of the French putting pressure on that part of the world.
So it's like when a country has no extraditing rules. So if another country asks them to expedite, they're like, no, we're not going to expedite him.
It's on the country, really. It's on the country.
Yeah. So the country. Ivory Coast is not going to expedite him.
I don't think they're even trying to hear it, because you know what the funny thing is. Have you seen the brother that's the is it general or colonel of the army in the U.S.? His name is Langley.
Yeah.
The black guy.
Yeah.
Black brother. He came in and started talking about, Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore is trying to hide his gold and all of this. And I'm like, hold up, man. They're actually now using us as a weapon against each other, because this is a black man. And he's in the USA. And we already know the story of the USA in itself. And then you're coming in because you're a general in the army of the USA, and what they're dictating to you is what you're doing. And you know, I'm one to say this, because Barack Obama was the first black president, as they say, right? And for me, the reason why Gaddafi is dead today is because of Barack Obama. And Barack Obama can directly say where his family comes from in Africa, which is Kenya. Which is a side, and he knows his history of his people. And it's like, so hold up, why did you support the murder of Gaddafi? Because I know one thing, as much as people don't like Trump or want to talk so much about Trump, one thing I guarantee you, if Trump was in power at that time, Gaddafi would still be alive today.
Why so?
Bro, Trump wasn't, Trump has never, he even said it himself at one point. He was like, I mean, that's nothing to do with him. And you know what? He pushes the interesting thing about Trump is he pushes the American narrative very heavily in, and he has a big fan base of that, right? But one thing I've never understood is he has that narrative about the American whatever the case.
Yeah.
But all his wives have always been from Eastern Europe. And I'm like, bro, so which one is it? Because all your wives have ended up being from Eastern Europe to some percentage. Because even one of his wives who died, he buried her in one of his properties, didn't he? And because he buried her in the property, now that area becomes the tax levels is not a tax level because it's considered a cemetery, isn't it?
So what do you think about the rise in the prices that he's doing with China and things like that, in the tariffs and stuff?
To be honest with you,
because like the consensus is obviously it's a lost cause, because what he's trying to do is make the manufacturing in the US, but obviously it takes time to build infrastructure and things like that. So really what he should have done is built the infrastructure first and then said to him, okay, thanks, we don't need you no more. But he's done the reverse, where he said we don't need you no more and we're going to put the taxes up.
He's a business guy, right? And he is doing one thing, which is he's letting his fan base see that he's doing what he's saying, right? The thing is this, even in Europe, China produces all the shoes we wear. Majority of our shoes are made in China. It doesn't matter where you go in the world, because they've figured out how to
Yeah, because even the corporations, even if the corporations are based elsewhere, like in the Western world,
Yeah,
they're still going back to China to
they
say,
always
"I'll
go,
build this for me,
bro.
build that."
China will
Even
build it for cheaper.
designers and all sorts of things.
China builds it for cheaper.
Because that's what they were showing. They were showing like, "Oh, you're a designer. You think it's made in France?
No. It's
Think
all
again."
China. It's all China. Then the thing is, even this phone that's right here is made in China, but it's gladly written there as something else.
Yeah, it's the branding, isn't it? Because the company's like, not Chinese, but the actual components and the materials used.
Trump is a business guy.
Yeah.
Right? And he's figured out, listen, the business is necessary. However, the USA, the prices that people will need to work in the factories that he's talking about, half of those guys are not prepared to work in those places. They see themselves as people who are worth more than what this is being given. Do you know what I mean? So that it becomes a dead end. So it's like, yo, cough up the money, build it in China, and then it goes. And I don't fault him. I won't fault him, but it's like, what the fuck?
Isn't it? It's working already though, isn't it? Like the Chinese, they make their money, the Western world make their money, and keep it moving. Like, is it an ego thing? You think where? Because like you said, he has followers. He wants to show his authority.
Yeah.
It's more of an ego contest than anything else.
It's more to make sure that he appeals to people. Because it's politics, right? A politician has to be seen as a truth, despite the fact that he can feed you a lie. A lot of politicians will come and tell you they will change a million different things. All they need is a couple of idiots to believe what you're saying. And as soon as you have those people believing in what you're saying, you've won the argument.
Yeah, because most of the time they don't even follow through on their manifestos.
They never do.
And I feel like they only use things that they know that the public are worried about.
Exactly.
So like scaremongering. So like, knife crime and that. So then the next politician comes, you know what, I'm going to eradicate it. I'm going to put things in place. I'm going to put metal detectors in schools and things like that, just so that it shows the public I'm going to do something about it. And then that's what causes people to follow and vote for them, because they're telling you what they're going to do. And then when they get into power, we can't do that because it's,
No, but they're trying to, what?
It's a problem.
I will say one thing here, because okay, so in the UK, remember that girl that got, she went to Syria at like 15 years old or whatever the case.
Oh, yeah, isn't it Begum?
Yeah, Shamima Begum. That's it. Yeah. They took off her citizenship, right?
Yeah.
And there's a guy, the person who was behind her the citizenship being stripped, he was of Asian origin, right? Or how we say it, Asian origin, whatever the case. But if you'd have looked into it, one of the guys was like, hey, we needed to see exactly what the problem was that caused her to be influenced to do such a stupid thing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to back that. And I'm thinking, you know what? That will make a lot more sense, because if you'd have had somebody coming in talking about Nazi this and Nazi the other, and you do have a lot of people who are fan bases of that kind of crowd, because at the end of the day, you're in Europe. So this is some people see as it's the divine of life and X, Y, X, Y, X, Y. However, this lady has done a stupidness, taking her out of the country. She's taken herself out of the country, and it becomes a thing of, don't you want to know what the problem is? But she was younger than
16 when she did that.
She was 15. I think she was 15 or 14, something crazy.
So are they still, don't they have to put it as diminished responsibility? Because
God knows.
There's a certain point where, a child is not responsible for the actions in the eyes of the law, right? And I think it's 16 is the cutoff limit. So like, if
16 they can get married, right? With the parents, as long as the parents have permission.
Because give permission. If you do a crime before 16, it gets eradicated when you turn 16.
When you turn 18.
Yeah, 18 or whatever.
Yeah. When you turn 18, you're now an adult.
Yeah.
In most part of the world, but in the US, it's when you turn 21 you can drink alcohol, or you can go to the army.
You can go to the army before 21.
You can go to the army before 21, but you can't drink any alcohol.
Interesting. But that's always intrigued me, their laws on alcohol and stuff, because they had that the bootlegging era where people alcohol made a lot moonshine and all of that. They've always had this funny relationship with alcohol throughout the ages.
I think
it's legal because it was legal first, and then they made it illegal, and then they made it legal again.
I think it's taxes, because I think that's where the Italian mafia was really...
Yeah, they were rinsing it.
They were making sure they can draft as much as they could.
Like booze, gambling,
Yeah. Those are the things.
Number rackets and
follow each
also
other.
protection rackets, like in the neighborhood and stuff, extorting shop owners. Like the mafia really made a lot of pee, and then what made it worse is they had political ties as well.
Yeah, because they could buy them.
Yeah, so
it always boils down to money.
The strongest family is the one that had the most politicians in their pocket, and then with the politicians, obviously they vote and change the law in their favor.
It's who brings out the money.
Because isn't that why Johnkennedy got shot? Because it was to do with what he was going to do when he got in power. He was going to change the law, right?
I don't know the full story on that, because there's a lot of people who say, oh no, it was an inside job. Some people say it's an outside job. Irrespective of, he was the only president of that part of the world that actually was driven in a convertible vehicle. Because ever since after that, all other presidents have always been in those bomb-proof cars and all that stuff. And you're thinking, bloody hell. To be honest with you, that's the reason I always tell people, listen, you want to vote, go ahead and vote. I don't vote because I know you're feeding me a bunch of lies. That's the reason why. Every time you listen to a politician talking,
if you think about it, politicians, even if you're from different parties, you're inheriting the same thing, the same problems.
Yeah.
So if the last couple people couldn't fix it, like what are you really gonna do to fix it? If the last, because even like when I was watching the documentary on the American presidents and the Reagan era, the war on drugs and all of that, that has been going on for a long time now, and it's still going on. So these things are just problems that we know already exist in society. So no matter what you do, it's always going to be there. Whether you have a war on drugs or you don't have a war on drugs, drugs are still going to be there. People are still going to buy them. People are still going to sell them. Once you catch one person, another person just going to pop up.
It's always going to be.
So it's always going to be reoccurring. Yeah. So all they're doing really is using these as tools against the masses and painting pictures and just selling us different stories of how they're going to tackle it.
I think the Arab world is the only place that you can't really ramp much with certain things. Drugs, definitely, they bust you with drugs, man, you're done.
Yeah,
stealing, you're done.
Yeah, that's what I see. Like I see bits on social media where people are leaving like their purses on top of their cars and walking off, and they come back and
it's still there. Yeah, I've done that. I've done that in a McDonald's once when I was in Dubai, because I was like, yo, there's no way this is real, and I left my stuff, and then I came back, it was still there. Yeah. However, there's a dark side of that part of the world. Prostitution is heavy.
Is it heavy?
Oh my days, it's freaking heavy. You got to remember, now you've got a hub where everybody's trying to be in. And the one thing is, because a lot of people who travel a lot the part of the world, it's always about your passport. You ever seen this thing of passport boys and all that stuff? And you bring out your passport and they don't bother you. So I know somebody who got arrested in Turkey.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be on the other channel. He was supposed to be with me on a conversation, because what he went to Turkey for was an operation on his teeth. However, he ended up in a mix-up, because as he was waiting for the people to come and see him, it was he was expecting a male doctor. What do you call it? People teeth people. What do you call them again? Dentist. He was expecting a male dentist to come in to see him. No, he was expecting the male nurse to come and see him first for his teeth, and then it was a female staff that came to see him. Now he was in his hotel, so he had left money on the side, and he's in Turkey. So what happened was, he was like, oh, what's this? And then the woman decided, oh, I need to use the toilet. And before you know it, she's taken up with his money. So it became a cook-up, and he ended up arrested in Turkey.
Why did he get arrested?
No, because what he ended up doing is, the woman come out, and his money was missing. So he was like, oh, no. Give him my money. So he took the phone that she had, held onto it while he was contacting the police. The police come in there, and they ended up arresting him. And that's when I said, when you're a black man in this world,
right? So they didn't even listen. They didn't believe that she took money from him.
They didn't even pay attention to it. And you know what he came down to? They told him like, oh, his citizenship, which is British, right? Because he travels with a British passport. But then they now told him, no, where are you from? He's an African guy. And he looked at him and he goes, what do you mean? And he goes, yeah, where's your father from? And he was like, this is where my father is from. What are you talking about? I'll produce my passport. He said, yeah, your passport is just. That one is just a passport. That one's the one that brings you here, but we know that you're coming from somewhere else. And they recorded him as that. And they put him in the asylum, what do you call it? They got asylum places up there as well. Which he was telling me, he met a lot of people in that place, because he was there until they got his flight, and he was there for 2 days, I think it was.
Yeah.
But you ended up telling me, they ended up deporting me back to the UK. And I was like, they deported you back to the UK, which is something you rarely hear.
But because he had a UK passport, right?
Exactly.
So he's a citizen.
So they sent him back this way, and he was sitting there, was like, I don't understand this, man. I was like, bro, this is why there's some parts of the world. I always tell people, man, I'm not a fan of that particular part of the world.
Yeah.
That location is not for me. But anyway, that's a story for tomorrow, man. It wasn't part of this. The main thing is, Ibrahim Traore, we are with you, and the rest of the world is with you. As much as France is not happy about it, the US is like, no. That's why they said
because their puppet is out. That's why.
Of course.
And someone they can't control is in.
And he's got rid of.
It's messing up their money, isn't it?
Bro, he's got rid of the French from being in there. And I didn't know they've got a lot of gold and uranium in that part of the world. That part of the world. That particular country has a lot of gold and uranium. And he was like,
it messes up the whole.
Yeah, because apparently they were buying
economy
it for cheap.
for them. Yeah.
Yeah. And even now they're building roads. I was watching. You ever seen this Ghanaian brother? He's quite big on YouTube. His name is Wodemaya.